Back at it once again. Swaggering boisterously.
This is one of them hits now. Heard back from Earth, they just shot a few of my ships down. It's safe to say I'm totally pissed. Wow, my cloaking device is just malfunction. Guess it's time for a sit down. This is the problem I got with humans, mostly the common man. Constantly fucking with energy they don't understand. Always thinking they got the upper hand. The G-forces for my maneuvers can snap your spine like a rubber band. I shouldn't waste my time, they ain't half as nice. Put a Red Bull in your coffin so your ghost can have wings in the afterlife. That's why I can roll like a belly dancer's rhinestone. It was my idea to shake the penal gland like a pine cone. My thoughts create hurricanes, tornadoes, and cyclones. A punch for me is like an avalanche of granite and limestone. You live here, now this is my home. I neuralize both your retinas, you wake up staring at the screen of your iPhone. Confused by the light plus the high tone. And now we connected from the microchip I placed next to your thigh bone. It's hard to understand cause you're mind blown, but I gotta cut communication. Your government just scramble they spy drones.
That voice speaking Sumerian, the oldest language in human history. I can't explain it.
Showtime. Hey, it's your boy.
What's good?
Mike Raider. Hey, and to my right, I got Kanetown Raider, the official big body of Raider Nation. Bro, how you doing?
Doing good, man. You know, just doing the daily grind, man. Trying to get back into the content creator stuff. You took a little hiatus, but we back.
Hey, I'm hold down for you, bro. Anytime, man. I got you.
Man, you're doing a hell of a job.
Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. So let's check out the chat. We got Raider Nation Drinking Club. Thor, my boy. Yee! What's up? I'll see you in Vegas in a couple of days. Cloud9 Entertainment. Shout out to you. We got 5 in the chat, bro. So what are we talking about today? We're talking about your big 30 board that you got.
Yes, sir, man. We're gonna talk about the big board. We're gonna get into a little bit of your 30 and 30, man. That's a marathon you've been doing, man. You stayed on top of it. You're finally hitting that finish line, bro. It's been a journey, man. It's been dope to see every single day.
Man, I'm tired, bro.
I bet.
I'm tired. Shout out to Slicky Raider. What's up, man? What's going on, bro? What's going on, man? Bro,
I was sitting here, just waiting in the cut, and then boom, 1 week before I dropped my 30 guys.
Bro. Man, well, it's a perfect time, bro. It's a perfect time. It is draft season. It's draft week. Man, we right around the corner. Man, I'm excited, bro. Now with that, let's jump into that 30, man. Let's jump into that 30. Let's see what Thor has to say first. He says, bro, when you get here, Henny, vodka, and brew on tap. I'm in trouble, bro.
Man,
I'm in danger.
I wish I was gonna be there, man. Next year,
bro. I can't wait, man. Looking forward to meeting you in person. And yeah, man, it's gonna be a good time. All right, bro. Let's jump into this 30, man. I'm about to add it to the stream. There you go, man. Let's jump to it one by one. I'm gonna pass it to you. Let us know what's up. Let us know, kind of give us a breakdown of those 30 that you're talking about. Go ahead, man.
All right, let's get it. Some of you guys, I dropped this on IG and Twitter in the last couple days. My top 30 big board. Just so there's no confusion, this is my top 30 for the whole draft, not just my Raiders top 30 or who I believe the Raiders should go get. This is for the whole league. At number 1, man, I got what I think is almost the consensus best player in the draft, man. He's gone through some things off the field. He's maybe he came in a few pounds overweight. I don't think that's going to make a bit of difference at the next level, man. Jalen Carter, defensive tackle from Georgia. I am really hoping that he drops to us. I think there's a chance maybe some guys pass on him. I think Seattle's our biggest threat. That might be the one that snags him right before us. But if he's on the board, Ziegler needs to run to the podium and make that pick. Man, what do you think?
Absolutely, man. I mean, this dude is he's the best draftable guy he's the best prospect in the draft, man. I mean, hands down, I would say. And then, there's a lot of things surrounding him with the legal stuff and then all that stuff, bro. He's young. He's gonna learn it. He's gonna take his lumps. Some people learn the harder way. And I'm going to look over that, man. I think he's going to overcome this, and he's going to be that generational talent that everybody thinks he's going to be. I agree with him being at number 1 on this list.
Yeah. trust me, if I was going to the NFL, they could look at my past and they'd find some shit that I probably would get thrown out of the draft for. So,
bro, 22,
I'm sure you can play.
man. Bro, yeah, it was a mess at 22 years old, man. Come on, let's be real. Let's be real.
I didn't know shit.
Right.
Moving on, we got. I was kind of on a toss up with this. With my number 2 and my number 7. 2 months ago, I told you Will Anderson was the number 2 or the number 1. Period. Tyree Wilson seems to be getting a little more attention these days. You go and look at him; he has a little more of a power rush style to him. Yeah. But I think I'm still going to go with Will Anderson at number 2. Mm-hmm. Dude is last year would have been he had a little better season, a little more production, higher sack total. This year kind of toned that down. I think that's just a product that they saw who he was last year, and they game plan for him a lot more this year. Will Anderson, whoever he goes to, is going to have a stud on the edge.
Right. Yeah. You know, I saw something weird today. I was looking at what's it that Peter King, his top 10. He had Tyree Wilson at number 2.
He did,
which was kind of weird, bro. And it was like, well, that kind of blew me back. I was like, I know Tyree Wilson is, you know, he's one of those, you know, those prospects that is kind of trending upward. But dude, I don't know. Will Anderson is one of those special guys that is going to be hard. It's going to be hard to pass up at the number 2 position.
And he's not a guy that we've talked about for the Raiders very much. Edge, I think it's a need, but it's definitely not a glaring top need. How would you feel if the Raiders went out and surprised everybody and Will Anderson was the pick?
That would tell me that they're trying to build a super bookend duo with Max Crosby and whoever they draft, whether it's Will Anderson or a Tyree Wilson, which I wouldn't be upset about. It would be something to get excited about defensive wise. You're gonna have to deal with that on the edges on both ends. That's tough to deal with. And then in rotation, you got
Jones.
You got Chandler Jones.
That might work for Chandler Jones better than playing every down.
Right, exactly. Chandler Jones can, maximize his stamina, maximize that motor of his. He's getting older, so you don't want him playing every down anyway. Right. So bringing in a young guy like Will Anderson or even a Tyree Wilson would be exciting. It's not the number 1 thing I will want at number 7 because, we got so many other holes that need to be filled. But, bro, that's something to get excited about. Yeah,
absolutely. Moving on to number 3, floor versus ceiling with Anderson. I don't. I don't. Are you asking what I think his floor is and what his ceiling is, or?
If I had to guess, I'm guessing if we would have to put a floor or a ceiling on Anderson, his ceiling could be Pro Bowl. He could be a Pro Bowl guy.
Hall of Fame.
He could be a Hall of Fame guy. His floor, I mean, we've already just talked about that his numbers did kind of decline this season with Alabama from the previous one. He could be a guy that might be, just declining. Maybe he doesn't like football. I mean, I'm not trying to throw some crazy, scenario or crazy rumors out there, but
things happen though.
Things happen, right? And that's kind of what I would say about Anderson, but you just never know. I think that junior year is kind of what he brings to the table, if I were to guess, right?
Yeah. I think his floor is not that far down there. I would be shocked if he came in and wasn't at least, I think his floor is a 7 or 8 sack a year guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
His ceiling is 15 to 20 sacks a year. Man, he's special.
Yeah.
Number 3. So if you asked me at the beginning of last season, like before, not the season where Jacobs blew up in 1,600 yards this last season, but the season before, Bijan was the guy. I was like, we got to go get Bijan Robinson. Yeah. Josh Jacobs is hurt the last 2 seasons. We need him. Fast forward to now, Josh Jacobs is now top 3 running back in the NFL and is balled out of his mind last season.
Right.
So Bijan is just not an option for us, but I do believe he is a absolutely phenomenal once in a generation running back. Whoever gets this dude is going to have a top 5 running back immediately.
Yeah. Question, man. I got a question for you regarding Bijan Robinson, and it's kind of off topic, but you kind of sparked a thought, right? We haven't paid Josh Jacobs yet, right? He's on the books for that 10.1 million franchise tag.
Yeah.
Do the Raiders look at trying to ship him to possibly Arizona for the number 3?
Well, him by himself wouldn't get it done, but I mean, you're
Right.
talking about put a package together,
a package deal to try to move up to 3. Can you see that? I'm not saying that it's a 100% like for sure. Of course, this is a bold take. This is a hot take. Can you see that happening? Can you see Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler making that type of move to move up to number 3? Now, I know Arizona needs a running back, so
I give it a very small chance.
Yeah,
but if you're going to get trade value out of somebody, that might be your guy. You've seen what just happened with McCaffrey last year. Somebody's about to give up something for Derrick Henry after the draft. Whoever doesn't end up with Bijan or a Jahmyr Gibbs, it's probably going to go out. It sounds like Philly's really interested to go out and get Derrick Henry. So probably see that deal after the draft. Whoever's not able to fill their running back hole, that's probably going to be the teams that are trying to make that happen. I don't really see us trying to trade Josh Jacobs at the draft.
Yeah.
I think we'll give it a lot more time than that. I think Josh Jacobs is running the ball for us this year. Now, after that, I don't know.
Yeah.
Y'all are tripping passing on Gonzo. Gonzalez will be a top corner from day one. Who passed on Gonzalez?
So I guess you kind of caught on late in late in the game. So this is a big board, a top 30 big board according to Kanetown. This is not a mock.
Yeah.
This is not a mock. This is not who we think the Raiders are going to pick at number 7. I'm sure me and Kanetown can pretty much give you the most logical pick who we think is going to be picked at number 7, and we're pretty much 1A, 1B, Devin Weatherspoon and Christian Gonzalez.
Yeah,
that's to be honest. Nobody's passing on Gonzalez at all. We think he's a great prospect. We're just looking at the board, and to be honest with you, Jalen Carter at that number 1 pick, if he lands at 7, I don't care who else is on the board. You're taking Jalen Carter. You can say what you want about it, but that's how I feel about it. What do you think, bro?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, just one more time for everybody who's who might be just coming in late. This is a top 30 big board, not a mock draft. This is not who I think's going where. This is just a list of who I think is the top players in order in the draft. Not going by how they would fit with us, nothing like that. Just the top 30 most talented guys, according to me.
Right.
Can't trade Jacobs until he's got to sign his tender. But if he wants to be traded and you go tell him, hey, we got somebody who wants to trade for you, he's going to sign it and work a new deal.
Yeah. Shout out to AC Barra, man. We just wanted to get you caught up. I knew you kind of probably took it out of context, which is understandable.
Yeah, don't worry, we love some Gonzo.
Yeah, absolutely. David Bigelow, shout out to you as well. Yeah, you can't trade Jacobs till he signs a contract. That is a true statement. Sean Johnson, man, the executive producer of all Raider Nation.
Yeah,
Jacobs and Hunter Renfro will get it done to Arizona, and you keep all your draft capital.
Would that get you the number 3 pick? I don't know.
Maybe. I don't think it would, man.
Maybe if it was if it was like a number 20 pick in the first round, then you might have something there. But the number 3 is you might have to do both of them in a second.
Right. So that leads us into the next guy, right? CJ Stroud.
CJ Stroud. If Jalen Carter's off the board. Even if Jalen Carter's on the board, this is the one guy that if he is also on the board, I would not be upset if we went and grabbed CJ Stroud. To me, this is the best quarterback in the draft, with the most upside, with the most potential. Outside of Anthony Richardson might have the most potential, but I think it's more realistic that CJ Stroud realizes his potential. So at number 4, I got CJ Stroud as the number 1 quarterback. I would be pissed if we draft quarterback or offense. I would be pissed too if it wasn't CJ Stroud. Anybody else besides CJ Stroud at quarterback, I'd be pissed. And I definitely don't want an offensive lineman at 7. If we grab Skoronski, I'm going to join Docs and start flipping shit over.
Yeah, it's going to be a disaster at Barcode Burger if we do grab Skoronski. I'll tell you that, bro. It might be a problem. I'm with him on that as well. CJ Stroud, he's the safe pick at quarterback if you do pick a quarterback. Yeah. I think he's the better prospect than a Bryce Young to me personally. If I were to pick one of them two, I like CJ Stroud better. I don't care about what the S2 cognitive test says. I don't care about none of that, man. I don't care that he allegedly bailed out on the Manning camp, all that stuff. Manning isn't God. I'm sorry to tell you guys, he's not God. You can flake on him if you want, man. I'd probably flake on him because I have no business being at a quarterback camp. So you know what I mean? Like it to me, it really doesn't matter, bro. Like CJ Stroud is his own man. He's gonna stand on his own 10, and he can play the quarterback position better than anybody in this draft class. So I really don't care. He's that guy, man. He is that guy.
Moving on to number 5.
Yeah. Hey, before we jump in, he says, I just got back to Vegas, so we ain't doing tonight's late night show tomorrow instead if you want to mess with us. Hey, if you want, bro, we can go jump over at Thor show tomorrow night. I usually hang over there every once in a while. I might go check him out tomorrow. He usually does like a late night show, so I'll be there. We might be seeing you tomorrow, bro. All right, bro, go ahead. My bad.
No, you all good, bro. Number 5, I think this is, if we are at 7, I think this is the most likely pick. I think, and with him and Withers and with him and Gonzalez, man, I'd be happy with either. But if you had a gun to my head and I had to pick one, Devin Witherspoon's my guy. The dude is an explosive tackler. He lays the lumber like he's a safety. He's just a dog, man. Best corner in the draft, in my opinion, no doubt. And immediately is our number 1 corner day one. What's up, Van City?
Yo, shout out to you, bro. Shout out to you. Yeah, I agree with you, man. I think that he's a corner that can play zone great. He can play. He's a ball hawk. He gets after the ball. He's like a ball magnet. He's pause if necessary. But he can play the cover 3 and the cover 6 very well, which is like right up. That's right down Patrick Graham's alley. Yeah. I think he's the best fit in this defense, and I think Devon Witherspoon is probably the odds-on favorite to be that number 7 pick for the Raiders. Yeah,
and you go out and grab Witherspoon. You put him on one side. You put Shelley on one side. You can finally put Nate Hobbs back where he belongs, and your secondary is looking pretty nice. And, I mean, you pick up a safety later in the draft, or and your secondary could be set. Moving on to number 6.
Hey, I do want to address what Sean Johnson said.
The
CEO of the S2 testing today, and said that the two guy score wasn't accurate. Now, people need to know about just the S2 testing or just testing in general, right? You have to have a large sample size for it to hold some sort of weight. How many people have taken this test over the years? Not many. So somebody who scores in the 98th percentile in comparison to somebody who scores in the 18th percentile is a difference between maybe a couple of points. So to me, even if it is valid or not valid, it's not really showing anything to me. He probably just scored a couple of points lower than Bryce Young. So to me, it's one of those things you can kind of throw in the garbage at this point. All right, bro, that's kind of where I stand with that one. Go ahead, bro.
And number 6, I got what seems to be the consensus number 1 quarterback in the draft. If you ask anybody who's not me or Big Mike here, Bryce Young, ultra talented quarterback, can do everything you want. But man, that size, man, the guy's under 6 foot. The guy's, I think he's already weighing back down at like 180 pounds or something like that. Especially with the Raiders' luck, man. I see this dude immediately getting injured and it just being a problem. I want none of that. But ultra talented guy. He's going to go somewhere if he can stay healthy and they can deal with the height issue and all that. I mean, he could be a very solid quarterback in the NFL. Number 7 got Tyree Wilson, Texas Tech. Really good edge rusher. I had to consider him and Will Anderson. But I ultimately went with Will Anderson. Tyree Wilson, solid edge rusher as well. Can get to the quarterback any which kind of way, power, speed, all that. He's another good one. He's going to be very solid in the NFL. Christian Gonzalez, my 1A, 1B cornerback from Oregon. Another guy, just great man coverage, shutdown guy, gets to the ball, solid tackler. You don't find a lot of those guys in the rookie year who do all that as well as him and as well as Witherspoon.
Yeah, I agree with you. Let me stop your thought right there. Kind of address this one from Cloud9. He goes, I wouldn't mind Spoon, Gonzo, or Porter Jr. The Raiders met with Porter Jr. twice, so he might trade back. What do you think about grabbing Porter Jr.?
Yeah, in a lot of my mock drafts where I have traded back, Porter ended up being the guy. I like him a lot. Real physical corner. One thing I don't like is he's might be overly physical. And you know, when you're wearing that silver and black jersey, that's a problem.
Right. He is also NFL pedigree.
Yep.
You know how I feel about NFL pedigree guys. They're gonna be successful in the league. They know how to be a pro. They were raised up on watching their dads be a pro. So that goes a long way to me.
And his dad was a potential Hall. I don't know. Did Porter Senior make the Hall of Fame?
No, he didn't. No. I don't think so. But he's borderline. He's right there. You know. Yeah. So it's close, man. Shout out to Anthony Provincio, man. Thank you, Provincio. Sorry. Thank you for showing up, bro. Thank you for popping in. All right, bro. Sorry for breaking that up, but yeah, continue with the list, man.
Right here, next at 9 and 10, I got probably your two best offensive linemen in the whole draft. Peter Skoronski, I picked him because I think ultimately he's going to be a guard, but with having all that experience playing tackle, he's going to be a versatile guy. You're going to be able to move him around. So I think he just brings a little extra value to the position. 10, probably the best, most NFL ready tackle, Paris Johnson from Ohio State. Yep. Either one of these guys, I think they'll both be potential All-Pros. I think
I got a question for you for Peter Skoronski. Do you think he's receptive to moving to the guard position, considering he's never played the position?
I don't think he's really going to have a choice. I think
he might not have a choice, right?
Those arms are mighty short.
Yeah, it's really short arms. I've never seen a tackle with short arms be successful. I mean, maybe there are a list of short arm tackles out there that were. Somebody would have to put in the chat to kind of prove me wrong, but that's like number one prerequisite, right? As a tackle, you need to have that back pedal going. Absolutely. You have to have the reach before a defensive end with the long arms get their hands on you.
Yep.
And if you got the gator arms, you're in trouble. That's like you're missing a big part of being a tackle in this league.
Absolutely. And Skoronski is probably the best offensive lineman, period, talent-wise and all that. But when you just don't have the measurables, sometimes you got to be willing to move around. And ultimately, it's going to make him a better lineman to learn multiple positions. So at 11, I got another Ohio State player. To me, the best wide receiver in the draft, phenomenal route runner, Jackson Smith-Njigba. Dude I think he has the most potential of any wide receiver in the draft, just based off his route running skills. You see these guys last. He's like, you look at Devontae Adams, and Devontae Adams doesn't rely on speed and jumping over everybody and being the most athletic guy in the world. He's a solid athlete, absolutely. But the reason that Devontae Adams is so great is his route running is elite. His ability to not drop the ball is elite. His ability to gain yards after the catch is elite. And as long as you have those, you can be great into your late 30s. See guys like Antonio Brown, Jerry Rice, Julio struggled with injuries, but other than that, he was really good in the fundamentals of being a receiver. So he can still get out there and get the job done a bit. But yeah, Jackson Smith-Njigba is right in that line from what I see. I see somebody who gives you production for 12 years.
Can I push back just a little bit on that list, bro?
Absolutely.
All right. Hey, before I start, man, shout out to Crypto Tales, my bro. Shout out to you, bro. Thanks for popping in, my bro. That's my real life brother right there. So, just let you guys know, I got to put that out there. But to push back just a little bit, bro, Jackson Smith-Njigba, do you think that he's kind of riding that Rose Bowl game performance? He had, was it the 2022 Rose Bowl game where he had like was it about 300 yards receiving or something crazy like that? Do you think he's riding that performance all the way to the draft right now? Because to me, I think Jordan Addison is a step above him as far as wide receiver prospects go, to me personally. But I might just be a homer there. You know what I mean? So,
he's a USC guy.
Yeah. So what do you think about that? What's your thoughts on that one, bro?
Addison was my number one guy for a while, and then he ran, like, usually a 40 doesn't mean as much, but when you're a wide receiver who's expected to run a 40 in the low fours and you run, he run a 4.55?
I think so, yeah.
That's that kind of because that's what he had. He's not the biggest receiver in the world. His route running is solid, but I don't think it's amazing. He has potential. I could be wrong. This dude could come out in his rookie year and be the offensive rookie of the year without definitely could happen. But and to answer your question, yeah, I think he is riding the coattails of that. But every NFL player or every college player has the best game they ever played. So you got to ride. You got to ride your good games.
Yeah, that's fair.
Josh Jacobs is forever going to ride that game from Seattle. Everybody's going to remember him for that.
Yeah, that's fair.
Fair, man. But I think he has the intangibles to be consistent and consistently put up games not like that. No, he's not going to go out and put 300 yards, but
no, that'd be crazy.
This guy could be 6-7 catches, 90 to 100 yards almost every single game, just consistently. So I'll take consistently over a guy who has a great game every once in a while.
Got it. All right, bro. That's all I have. If you could jump into the next one.
Yeah. Next one, I got Lucas Van Ness. To be honest, probably one of the guys I watched the least amount of tape on, but I did read up on him a lot, and I have watched a lot of other guys' stuff and what they had to say about him, and he seems to be a consensus one of the top edge rushers in the draft. He's another guy who from what I've seen, can get to the quarterback any which way. He can finesse you, he can bowl through you, and dude seems to have a motor that doesn't end. He just keeps going.
Yeah, he's one of those corn-fed Iowa Midwest hit you in the mouth type of defenders, man, which I'm all for. Man, I like him. We would have to trade back to get him, but I
don't see him on our roster at all.
Yeah, it's a solid guy. It's a solid guy. Shout out to Matt Marinovich. Hobbs and our DB coach has Illini ties, so they have enough info and background on Witherspoon. Bro, I would love to see Witherspoon and Nate Hobbs back together again. That would be excellent, man. Excellent.
One thing I've been wondering, were they when Hobbs was in his last season, was Witherspoon on the team as a freshman?
I think they were together just for a little bit, but Witherspoon has been starting from the jump, bro. Like he's been playing for quite a while. He's not like a dude that's been sitting the bench and
also if he even one season and it's like a big mystery.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, even if he did, he was watching Nate Hobbs ball out. So, he's learning the ins and outs from Nate Hobbs, and now then he would hit the field and ball out that way. So I would like to see them play together. That would be dope, man.
Right. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, if we're at 7, I think that's the most likely guy. And yeah, actually, Cloud9, I had thought that before. Guys like Skoronski or Van Ness, those both sound like guys the Raiders would draft, which scares me because neither one of those guys are who I wanted the 7th pick at all. But that just seems like something that would happen. So.
Yeah, I agree. It kind of scares me. The Raiders have scared us before, has done some weird things in the draft. So, yeah, that does scare me, to be honest with you, man. But, yeah, go ahead and jump into that to the rest of your 30, bro.
Yep, number 13, quarterback Hendon Hooker. I have him a lot higher than a lot of people have him.
I agree with you, though.
Yeah, I don't know how people haven't seen it. I don't know if they're scared of the knee injury. The age thing is the dumbest argument I've heard. I'm sorry. If you're going to get great quarterback play for 8 years instead of 10 years, oh well, plan earlier for the next guy. Hendon Hooker is also one of the guys I can see stepping out as a starter on day one and being able to sustain, some good football and running offense and all that. Coming to us, if he did, he wouldn't have to do that. He's going to still be able to sit, learn for a little bit. If Jimmy G gets hurt, which let's all face it, it's very possible. Yeah. Then Hendon Hooker would be one of the guys that I would be comfortable with stepping in. Will Levis, Anthony Richardson, I would be very uncomfortable with them stepping in mid-season. I agree.
I agree. So where do you see him? Where do you see him realistically going?
I think a lot of it. I think I realistically could see him with us, but I realistically could see him in Seattle or San Francisco or any quarterback needy team that didn't grab a guy early in the first is going to be watching Hendon Hooker. I could see him going from anywhere from the end of the first, teams trading back up, or some surprise team grabs him, or I could see him falling as far as the third. But he's a guy who's consistently, shown the ability to get the job done at Tennessee, and he's not some guy who just relies on one part of his game or the other. This guy can give you everything. He can give you some yards on the ground, and he can throw the ball. He can make the throws. I like Hendon Hooker a lot.
I see him going into the first, bro. I see late first with him. I can see somebody jumping in that late first, trading with somebody like the Texans moving up to trade with somebody. And, if they do go defender in that first round or even number 12, they kind of skip on whoever they want quarterback wise.
Yeah,
they could move that second round pick and maybe some assets to get Hendon Hooker late in the first. I can honestly see that happening, man.
And what was I saying? Go ahead, man. I forgot what I was going to say.
Oh, yeah. So shout out to David Bigelow. He says, with the cornerback class being so deep, I'm leaning towards edge and interior defensive line. I like it. I like it because, you're right. The cornerback class is deep from first to sixth round. You got some good talent all the way into the deeper rounds in this draft. So, if you do go edge, I wouldn't recommend it. But if you go interior defensive line, the only guy I would like to pick is a Jalen Carter. Other than that, you want to move back to grab an interior defensive lineman like a Kalijah Cansey or somebody like that, in the mid rounds like that. So
yeah, and so I got Anthony Richardson on here next.
Yep.
Everything's been said about him. The dude's measurables are insane. He has all the potential in the world. He terrifies the shit out of me. In terms of if Raiders went and grabbed him, I would not. I know a lot of people would be super happy. He's a great athlete. He's got all the potential, but I'm a scarred Raider fan, man. That shit don't work out for us.
It really doesn't. And, everybody likes athleticism. Everybody gets excited for, him like taking off and scrambling. But the dude's accuracy is terrible. Let he throw a little bit over 50%. Like, it's bad, man. And he's green. He's super green. He's only started in one season. We don't have a big enough sample size to even really make a judgment on him. The combine doesn't tell me anything about what kind of quarterback he is. So it's a big risk to take him even in the first round to me, to be honest with you. He's a late first, maybe even a second round talent to me, to be honest, in any other year. But he blew the evaluators away with his athleticism and his intangibles, his leaping ability and things like that. So a lot of the guys are really excited for him. A lot of people are excited for him. I'm not personally. I want a quarterback.
Yep. I don't know how many times you're going to have to ask your star quarterback to jump 40 inches in the air.
Right. Shout out to Sean Johnson, CJ Stroud, or Jalen Carter, or Devin Witherspoon, Drew Sanders, or Jack Campbell, Keanu Benton, Sidney Brown, Voorhees. Yeah, those are pretty much my guys right there. Jason Taylor, all those guys, man. Matt Marinovich, he goes, Santa Clara system is horrible on quarterbacks. They went through 3 last year. Jimmy G might be able to stay healthy this year in McDaniel's system. I sure hope so, bro. What you think, man?
Yeah. I think let me see that again.
Yeah. Go for it, bro. Go for it. Let me pull that up.
Oh.
There we go.
Jimmy G might be able to stay healthy in McDaniel. Yeah. Okay. So I kind of read that's what I thought it said, but I just needed to see it one more time. Yeah, no, I definitely think Jimmy G might be able to stay healthy with us. I think McDaniels likes to protect his quarterbacks a little more. That's why you see guys like Trey Lance being picked up by Shanahan. He wants his quarterbacks out there moving. McDaniels wants his quarterbacks chilling in the pocket and tearing apart defenses systematically.
Yeah, absolutely. He doesn't fit the system. And I agree with Slicky Raider. He kind of reminds me of that Jamarcus Russell. He's kind of giving me that vibe, right? Like he could be that another bust from us, and now we're looking for another guy in 3 to 4 years. And I'm just not a fan, man. I'm not a fan, not even in the first round, even second round, I'd pass on him.
Yeah. AR-15. You think so? I don't think he is a McDaniel's type pick.
The only way I would say he's a McDaniel's type of pick is if you're trying to replicate what you were trying to do with Cam Newton.
Yeah, and I think they didn't get Cam Newton by choice. I think that was out of necessity. You got to get somebody in there who can play.
Right. And even with him, he started off well, but towards the end he kind of fizzled. So, it can work initially. Maybe it can work for a short period of time, but it hasn't been proven to work over a long period of time. So that's kind of what we're looking at. But he needs serious polishing. He probably needs to sit a year and learn the offense before I even throw him in there, man.
East a year. He might need to sit for 2 or 3.
Yeah. Shout out to Orlando Padilla. Salute to you, bro. Thanks for popping in. All right, bro. Let's jump back into the second half, man.
All right, man. Next up, I got a Pitt defensive tackle, Kalijah Cansey. Yeah. This is a draft darling for a lot of people.
Me being one of them.
Me too. Yeah. This dude has serious Aaron Donald vibes. Undersized, but absolutely ferocious and explosive, and gets to the quarterback. If we traded back, this is my number one trade back target. Him and then close second is going to be the next guy right here, Joey Porter at Penn State corner. These two are my guys. If we trade back, I want one of them.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. Only problem, like you said, with Joey Porter is that he's handsy as hell, man. Very handsy, but like I said, that pedigree is going to be hard to ignore. It would be exciting to see him trade back in order to get one of those two. I'd be excited. I'd be down for that move. On top of the fact that we'll get more capital, depending on what the trade looks like. Maybe another third, maybe another second. I'm all for it, man.
Yes, sir. Yeah, if there's no Witherspoon, there's no Jalen Carter, and there's no CJ Stroud.
Yep.
Or there's no Gonzalez. Those 4 guys are all gone. I'm trading back.
Yeah, we have to. Because then then you're grabbing a Skoronski or Paris Johnson at that point.
Yep.
So we can wait for that.
Yeah, and then the next guy here at Tennessee, he's a rarity because he's a right tackle. So this is another guy I could see us trading back and getting, and then put him behind Illuminor until he's ready, or maybe he might be a day one guy too. Whatever you could do, whatever at that situation. At that point, right tackle becomes a strength for us. And then you got Illuminor who can play left and right. You got your swing tackle, and I think your bookends on your offensive line are set up. He was the clear and far away best tackle in college on the right side. I like Darnell Wright. The next guy is Edge out of Clemson, Miles Murphy. This dude started off in everybody's top 8 everywhere. And
that's true, yeah.
As things have gone on, I've seen this dude be mocked as low as the second round.
It's interesting.
Yeah, he's not your traditional edge. I can see him playing a 3-4 3 tech. Also, I can see him kind of bouncing back and forth. He can play a little edge, play a little 3 tech. He's kind of got that body type. That Clee Farrell body type.
Right.
So
yeah, it's definitely one of those things that if he was around the second, bro, let's pick him up. But in the first, man, even if we traded back, I wouldn't even want to. There's other guys on the list that I would go before I go with Miles Murphy. He's a second round guy that I would be excited for.
Yeah.
First round, not so much, man. Let me before we keep going, man, let me address some of the chat is kind of rolling real quick.
Okay.
Let me see. Where am I?
Oh, by the way, I can't see the chat unless Big Mike brings you up. So if I'm not responding to you, I'm sorry. I got my stuff full screen. One of the downsides of StreamYard is when you're full screen, you can't watch the chat.
Yeah. So I'm monitoring the chat, so I got to be on top of it. So before we keep going, man, Cloud9, it's all good, bro. Yeah, Tim Tebow, I understand where you're coming from. That is kind of a parallel, right? I get it. I absolutely understand where you're coming from.
Bronco fans.
Sean Johnson, he says Aiden O'Connell, not too bad, would be a good late round pick for a backup. I've seen him go undrafted as an undrafted free agent. I've seen his projection as a UDFA. If this was back in the day, like maybe 20 years ago, he'd be a first, second round talent. But he's a statue in the pocket. So that's the only – say it again.
Same with Tanner McKee.
Yeah, Tanner McKee, same thing. Those are the old school prototype kind of guys. So, and then Slicky Raider, he goes, no more Clemson players, please. I don't blame you for that.
Man, I've heard so much of that, man. You can't just go off. You can't go off to school, you guys, because Hunter Renfro's a Clemson guy, and he's He's put in some work for us, you know.
Yeah, it's true.
You know,
if that's the case, we don't get Ohio State guys, we don't get Clemson guys, we don't get LSU guys, we don't get like you just name.
And you're out of every big school in the country.
Yeah, so it's hard. It's hard to do that, man.
You don't want any Alabama guys, do you?
Yeah, no Alabama guys. No, you can go on and on with the list, man. So
no, but I understand what he's saying, though. You just got to evaluate the player, though.
Yeah, absolutely. It's fair. It's fair, though. I understand the feeling where it's coming from with that one. I get it.
We're Raider fans, man. We got PTSD like a motherfucker.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We're scarred, bro. Scarred. All right, bro. Go for it, man.
Yeah, my next one is something I don't normally do. I normally don't fall in love with the combine, but Nolan Smith, edge rusher out of Georgia, he made me a believer, man. And I think at the edge position, when you come to the league with that much speed, I think that you're just the perfect clay to be molded by these NFL coaches, man. I can see Nolan Smith being a very special talent. You get a guy with that kind of speed that could just blow around the corner. If you get him the right bend, if you get him any kind of a power rush, if you give this guy just the minimum of the intangibles, he's gonna excel.
You know who he reminds me of is Javon Curse from back in the day.
Freak,
real athletic freak, defensive end. He killed it his freshman year, but his rookie year, and we had like 14 and a half sacks or something like that.
He was a monster.
He could be that guy, bro. I could see it. And I mean, I think he's a top 10 prospect. I see him going to somewhere like the Eagles. I can see him doing that. That's kind of where I see him.
It's funny you say that. Javon Curse ended up with the Eagles after a while. My uncle's a big Eagles fan and almost did a fucking backflip when they got Javon Curse.
Yeah, he was a baller, man.
Started with the Titans, ended up with the Eagles.
Yeah. So
number 20 is a guy who has kind of grown on me a little bit as the draft process has gone up. I probably have him higher than a lot of people would have him, but Deontay Banks, corner out of Maryland. Duke can fly. He's got a lot of intangibles. He can play a little bit his own. He's pretty solid man coverage. He's not gonna be. I don't think he's number one day one like Gonzalez and Witherspoon, but I think he'd be a great corner to develop. If you could put him over at your number 2 spot and let him develop, I think you will eventually have a number 1 with Deontay Banks.
Yeah, you know who you remind who like surprises me that's not on your list, man, is Cam Smith.
He was like, so I initially made a top 50, and he was like in between 30 and 35. Okay. I just wasn't as high on him as a lot of people.
Yeah, a lot of people are high on Cam Smith, but I do agree with you. I like Deontay Banks better. To me, he's a second round. He's that guy that we can grab in 38 second round. If he lands there. That would be like an ideal pick for me, him or Emmanuel Forbes, second round. Of course, like I would want to go linebacker in the second round, but if our linebackers aren't available, then one of those two, Deontay Banks, Emmanuel Forbes, those are the kind of guys that I would look at in the second round.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. He's a guy I could also see some teams maybe wanting to creep back up into the end of the first. I think he's gonna garner some attention from a lot of NFL teams.
Yeah.
Real quick before I continue, I want to tell everybody, make sure you guys go over to Planet Raiders and check us out. Big Mike has just been a demon in there, man. He is constant with the content every single day. Wasted talent. I don't know how he does it, man. He's got so much going on. Yeah, he still is just always in there every single day. Great content. I put mine in when I can. Graph is out there. Black Sail. Hey.
Yeah, good? Shout out to you, bro. Hey, yeah, man, back to back, man. Hey, that's how we do it around here. It's draft season, so we gotta go full throttle, man. We gotta make that thing roll, man. And hey, we got 2 more on the 30 days, 30 prospects starting tomorrow, 29 and 30. We'll I don't know if we'll have enough time to talk about it fully, but we'll kind of graze over it just a little bit, man. But yeah, bro, I appreciate it, man. Planet Raiders is something that we're all definitely enthusiastic about. We show a enthusiasm and a passion for, so we want this thing to grow. So hey, if that means I have to miss some sleep for a little bit to get things done, to get things on ink on paper, we're gonna make it happen, bro. That's just what we do, man.
Hell yeah, we got some workhorses, man. Got some workhorses.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
It's growing exponentially. It's growing fast. Big Mike hit me with some numbers a little while ago, man, and I was just like, whoa.
Yeah, we're doing big things, bro. Hey, continue with the list, man. Let's get through it. I think we're at Trenton Simpson at this point.
Yes, sir. Clemson linebacker Trenton Simpson, in my opinion, the number one linebacker in the draft. I kind of went back and forth with him and Drew Sanders. I think Trenton Simpson just gives you a little more athleticism, a little more ability side to side. Yeah, but him and Drew Sanders, man, there's another one. It's just like Gonzo and Witherspoon, 1A, 1B. If we end up with either one of them, man, I'm gonna be stoked. Both of them, I've seen mock drafts. Trenton Simpson's a lot like Myles Murphy, where he was mocked in the top 10 a lot early, and now he's kind of fallen down. Him, I'm not so much sure why he's fallen down the draft board. Myles Murphy kind of makes a little more sense, but Trenton Simpson, man, is gonna translate to the NFL real well. He's gonna be able to do a lot of things that he's asked.
You know who he reminds me of is a not so fast Isaiah Simmons.
Yeah,
Kind of be both, get after the quarterback, coverage wise, he's adequate enough to get the job done. He kind of reminds me of that Isaiah Simmons where he can go laterally, sideline to sideline, get after running backs, kind of even cover slot receivers if he really needed to. Yeah. He's that type of dude that can kind of do it all, and I wouldn't mind having him. It's weird to see him drop in the second round, but at 38, that'd be perfect, man.
Oh yeah, that'd be a dream come true, man. That's getting him in the second round would be a steal.
Yeah.
Next at 22, we got Osiris Torrance. In my opinion, the best guard in the draft, coming out of Florida. He's been mocked late first, early second, and he's another one I could really see us grabbing at 38 if he's available. He would fit a need for us, and it would immediately strengthen the entirety of our offensive line. You want to keep Jimmy out of the dirt. You want to continue to make big holes for Josh to run through. I think he would be a great pick at 38 also. Another guy I could see us, I think we're going to package up a lot of late picks and move up. I could see us moving up to get him if he were to slip for any reason. I could definitely see us coming back and trying to grab him too.
Yeah, that's a good point. I could see us moving back up into the second round, maybe packaging one of our second and one of those thirds to move back up, just to grab somebody to ensure that we get a guard, because there is talks that we are interested in Peter Skoronski. So you even said it yourself, he might be playing a guard position in the NFL. If we can't get a Skoronski, or we get somebody we pick in the 7th spot and we know that we can possibly land a Osiris Torrance later on in the first, I can see them packaging that second and third and moving up and picking the Osiris Torrance in that second round, in that late first.
And the backpack on something that Graf had said recently. If you want a guard, why draft a tackle? Go get a guard.
Right.
You don't have to waste your number one pick on him potentially, and you get a guy who has played guard at a high level already for multiple years. So, absolutely. I mean, yeah, it just makes sense. Moving to number 23.
Hold on, let me jump into Sean Johnson's comment. He says the Cardinals love Illinois cornerback Devon Witherspoon and Ohio State tackle Paris Johnson Jr. per Albert Breer of a Monday Morning Quarterback. Both will be considerations, maybe at number 3, trade down. Then he continues, Will Anderson is the name that most commonly comes up, but I also know Arizona passed Tyree Wilson on the physical, which would make him a possibility too. What do you think about that, man?
I think it's draft week, and in draft week, I stopped listening to reports.
We are in NFL grifting season, bro. It's a lot of stuff to get your attention, bro. A lot of smoke. Shout out to Raider Dangerfield. Thanks for popping in, bro. All right, bro. Let's jump into number 23, Quentin Johnson.
Yep. Number 23, Quentin Johnson, TCU. So Quentin Johnston was my number one for a lot of the time leading up to now, because of his quarterback. I don't think he had a great quarterback, yet he excelled. He's a bigger guy. He can still move, get downfield on a deep route. And I mean, I could very well have made a mistake by putting him lower on my board. The dude could come out and just be the man. So
he's a little low. I say a little bit low, but the guys that's in front of him, I'm okay with. I'm okay with them being in front of him. Just you're looking at it from a lens of a Raiders fan, and to put a wide receiver who might be a top 10 on somebody else's board from another team's perspective, putting him lower, in that lower third of your 30, I'm okay with that because we don't necessarily need a Quentin Johnston. He's a solid prospect, speedy prospect, but to me, I want to see him do it again. Now, I know he had Max Duggan at quarterback. He was a Heisman, finalist, but Max Duggan is not a pro type of quarterback. So he did this despite having a guy who wasn't that pro type quarterback. So I'll give him that kind of props, but I want to see him do it at the NFL level.
Yeah, definitely. Number 24, I got my number 1 tight end in the draft, Dalton Kincaid. A lot of people got Michael Mayer as the number 1. I like a little bit more of what Kincaid brings to the table. I think he can do a little more. Michael Mayer might be your guy in terms of catching the ball and everything like that. He might be a little better, but I think Kincaid could do a little more of the all-around game. You come out and block a little better. But I mean, it's another one where the guys are really close. You could go with either, and usually it's probably going to be a good pick either way. Moving to 25 is probably my favorite receiver in the draft, who I like the most. He had a top 30 visit with the Raiders. Zay Flowers. He's another guy who dropped on my board because his 40 time wasn't what I thought it was going to be. And I don't know if he necessarily has the elite route running to kind of make up for that. But we'll see. Maybe he can develop that and prove me wrong moving down the line. Number 26, a lot of people would think that I have him low. I don't. I'm not a Will Levis guy.
I'm not either.
With the mayonnaise coffee for one. Mayonnaise with the peel. He on his upside, he gives me Justin Herbert vibes.
I'll give you that. Yeah,
that's his ceiling is Herbert. But I also see a really low floor.
I see a Ryan Mallett as a floor for him.
That's a good name.
That's big arm, but just not. He just doesn't have the tangibles to get it done. I mean, we see him kind of have that Derek Carr-esque type of presence in the pocket where he's getting some pressure. He gets a little bit of the happy feet and gets rid of the ball a little too fast. So I'm not a big fan of his either, man.
Yeah. Now, into his defense, the dude did not have the best surrounding cast. And at the end of the day, if that was the problem, you could come out and get the best quarterback in the draft.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the case, but the possibility is there. Moving down the line, we got USC wide receiver Jordan Addison. I am surprised I have not been flamed more by Big Mike for this. Mike had him higher.
Yeah, I already told you how I felt about that one, bro. You already know.
Addison didn't run the 40 I expected him to, and I feel like that was kind of his thing was a deep threat. You know what I mean? And I feel like he's not going to be the deep threat that he was meant to be. I could, and he's another guy who's talented enough, I believe, to maybe develop and become a really good wide receiver in the NFL, but I don't see him being an elite wide receiver in the NFL.
Man, before I jump into what I want to say to you, bro, let me address some of the comments first because I got plenty to say about it. Shout out to Raider Dangerfield. He says the Raiders have done that too many times. He's talking about trying to convert a guy, right? Trying to get a player in one position and convert him to another. Just draft what you need. I 100% agree with that. We definitely need to grab, if he wants to play guard, if he's a guard, grab a guard. We need to do that. We need to quit trying to shapeshift these guys into the things they cannot do. So that's why I think Skoronski is not a good pick for us.
Not at 7.
No, not at 7. Slicky Raider says if we trade down with the Commanders or Jets, we can really build our O-line, linebacker depth, also find a Darren replacement. Yeah, I mean, that would be an ideal situation, man. David Bigelow wants to see the world burn. He just said, I hope we skronk at 7 just to watch y'all flip the F out.
Don't you wish that on me, Ricky Bobby.
I see what you're trying to do, man. You want to see pure destruction and mayhem, and you might just well see it on Thursday, man. I mean, it's a possibility. Not a fan of Levis. We're not either. Definitely not. And then he says, Slicky Ray says Tim Couch vibes. which I agree.
Nice.
So, about Jordan Addison, man. Here's the thing. 40s don't really mean a big deal to me. What does mean a big deal to me is the film. Now, watching USC a lot, his film pops, right? If you just look at his highlights, the film, it pops. He's always open. When he does get the ball, you're always guaranteed that he's yards after the catch, man. He kind of reminds me in a sense. I'm not comparing him to Devontae Adams by any means, but he does the similar things as Devontae Adams does on the field with the yards after the catch and can break for a touchdown at any given part if you're giving him the space to do so. Like I said, my opinion really doesn't mean much in this situation because I'm a homer.
I mean, you did watch every game. So
I've watched every game. I've seen Addison play, and he's always open. He's always open. So take that as you may. I would put Addison over a who else? Who did you have over? Jackson Smith and Jigba. Mm-hmm. I would have him over a Quentin Johnston, but I'm a homer for USC, so take that with a grain of salt, bro.
Push back on that a little bit. What do you believe the speed gap is from college to the NFL?
The speed gap, it's a big deal. I would say it's a big deal.
So maybe some of them home runs that Addison hit in college, they're not home runs in the NFL.
That's fair. And then you also got to look at, now I'm not trying to argue against you on that one. I agree with you. But you also got to look at competition as well. Who did USC play competition-wise? Who did he play at Pittsburgh competition-wise? He played against what's his name? He played against what's the guys from shoot. He's a third-round prospect from Syracuse.
Shit.
You know what I'm talking about.
Hold on.
Williams, right? I can't think of his name. Hold on. It's gonna kill me because I did the 30 days, 30 prospects on
Garrett Williams.
Garrett Williams. He played against the Garrett Williams. He did what he did against Garrett Williams. Now, if you look at down the line, right, he's gone against a lot of competition in the Pac-12. Could you say that is a big deal for him in the Pac-12? Do you think that him kind of doing well in the Pac-12, could that equate to NFL level, success? I don't know.
I believe he's going to be a good receiver. I do in the NFL.
I mean, I guess the big thing would be, how did he fare against Christian Gonzalez? Did USC play Oregon? I don't think they did. I don't think we played Oregon this year, but and that would have been the best thing to see, like him against a pro level type of guy in a Christian Gonzalez. They didn't play Oregon this year, I don't think, bro. But it would have been nice to see that. So yeah, I'll give you that. The speed is not too much of a difference to me. It is, but it's not like he can't get open either. I'm not saying he's gonna break every time like he did against USC, but he can still be that guy.
40 times typically is not a huge deal to me, but when your thing is being a home run hitter, being a deep threat, being a guy that's supposed to take it to the house, then it affects how I feel a little more.
Fair. That's fair.
Yeah. Moving on to number 28, we got gargantuan tackle out of Ohio State, DeJuan Jones. This dude is a monster. Doesn't have the best feet, but who is going to have the best feet at that size?
Right.
This wingspan is unheard of. I believe it's like
ridiculous
feet or something, like some ridiculous shit like that.
Yeah.
So the polar opposite of Peter Skoronski. This dude there's no other NFL comparison but Trent Brown. This dude, if he develops, is going to be an all-pro for the next decade. If he falls to round 2, I think the Raiders jump on that too.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I'll even double down and say, if the Lakers were picking in round 2 in the NBA draft, I would pick him for that reach alone, man. I put him at the forward position. forward/center position, and we can get busy.
Yeah, bro's got a bull type wingspan.
Right.
Yeah, dude could be one of the more dominant tackles in the NFL if he has some solid development, goes to the right team, gets the right coaching. Number 29 is a Raider content creator favorite. Everybody loves Drew Sanders.
Yep.
Dude can do a little bit of everything. One thing he was my number one linebacker. I watched some more tape. He does have a little bit of a high number in terms of missed tackles.
Yeah.
Not a fan of that, but there's times where he can't miss. But he does give you a little more to be desired in the pass coverage as well. But he's not, he can do it. The thing with him is he's going to be a guy who's going to make stops at the line of scrimmage, and he's going to be a guy periodically who's going to get to the quarterback.
Yep. I agree.
If we trade way back to in the 25-ish range, Drew Sanders would not upset me at all.
This is what we do. Like I said, we keep our 7, and then we move up from the second and package it, maybe one of those thirds, and then move up back into the first and get a Drew Sanders, or even, like I said, an Osiris Torrance. Drew Sanders would be some sort of a reach, but it'd be worth the reach.
Absolutely. Me and you had a ridiculous mock draft, and we ended up with Simpson and Sanders, didn't we?
Yeah, the last time we did one, yeah, absolutely. That was crazy.
That was. If that actually happened, man, linebacker position fixed.
Right, man.
And to round out my 30, I got defensive tackle from Michigan, Mozzie Smith. Another big body guy, can really get it done, stopping the run, and he's going to give you a little bit of production in the pass rush as well. Another guy I didn't watch a ton of film on him, but from what I've seen, it definitely seems like a dude could get it done for you anywhere you need him to on the line. What do you think, Big Mike?
I like Mozzie Smith. I like him as a prospect. I really don't think that he's given enough love. I see him as a late first-round prospect. To grab him at 38 would be absolutely tremendous. I think that'd be a big steal. He just has a motor I like. Now, I know he had some legal issues, but that was like a stupid thing, kind of a slap on the wrist type of deal. No harm, no foul. And I like his game, man. I like what he brings to the table. He played alongside some dogs on that defense over the years. So it's a perfect fit for me with the Raiders.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. He drops to 38, man. I think you got to take him.
So we got one Q&A for you, man. I'll let you handle this one. No Broderick Jones on your draft board?
No, he didn't make it. I'm not too high on this class of tackles in the first place. I think there's a couple there's probably 3-ish that I think stand a chance to be absolutely elite tackles. I think Broderick Jones has a shot to be solid, but I just don't see him developing into one of the elite tackles in the league, and already in a class that I don't like a ton of tackles in, especially early. Yeah, he just didn't make the cut. He was on my top 50, but he didn't make my top 30. Fair
enough. Yeah, and then Shane Tolbury goes, Andy loves that dude, Drew Sanders.
Andy's the reason I started watching Drew Sanders tape.
Yeah.
We were kind of early in the process, just talking about guys we could take early, and Andy was willing to take him at 7. Andy didn't give a shit. Yeah. So him being that, that gun ho on him, I went and watched some tape, and sure enough, I fell in love with Drew Sanders myself. I wouldn't take him at 7, but if that man is at 38, I mean, you can't go wrong there.
Man, you definitely can't, man. So that's the top 30. I like your 30 board, bro. It's pretty dope. I like the fact that you do have Hendon Hooker in that 30. I think that his stock is rising dramatically. And it is pretty interesting. We talked maybe a couple of months ago, everybody was talking about him going in the 3rd round. Yeah. Now people are talking about 2nd, maybe even jumping into that 1st round, which is definitely, it's justifiable. It's justifiable.
After you get through the Stroud, the Young, Richardson, the Levis, the Hendon Hooker, it's a big drop in quarterback.
It's a huge drop.
He's the last, kind of like the last chance. to get a potential elite quarterback.
Yep. And even I think we're trying so hard to make these guys elite quarterbacks. I'll be honest with you, man. I would say 2 of these guys can have a chance to be elite quarterbacks.
I think the chance is there for like about 4 of these guys. Do I think it's likely? No, but I think the Hendon Hooker is the last guy in line that has the opportunity to potentially become an elite quarterback. Maybe not. Maybe elite's the wrong word. Elite, you think in top 5.
Right.
Yeah, you might be right. Maybe 1 or 2 guys have the ability to be elite, and I think that Hendon Hooker is still in that conversation. I think C.J. Stroud and Hendon Hooker are the 2 most likely to become.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. I'm actually, we are running. That took about an hour to go through your 30 board, which is pretty crazy.
When we were talking before, and you were like, "We're gonna hit on all 30," I was like, "Ooh, okay," because I was gonna hit on certain spots, but I was like, "All right, you want me to hit all 30? We'll go."
Bro, like I said, man, I want this to be like your show to where we're kind of looking at from your perspective. You explain your perspective on what you think, your top 30 guys are. And we had to do it that way, man. We definitely had to do it that way. I've been putting my 30 days, 30 prospects out every single day. Everybody pretty much knows where I stand.
Right.
So I wanted everybody to know, my fellow Planet Raiders brother, to know from your perspective who you see as a top 30 type of guy from 1 to 30 as far as prospects go. So it was only fair to do so, man.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, it was a lot to get out there, man. We got through it, and I'm happy with my top 30, man. I really think those are the guys. So we'll see how they go, where they go in the draft, and we'll see which one of them end up with the Raiders. Hopefully 1 or 2. Yep. Definitely 1, well, for sure. But hopefully I get another one in there.
Shout out to David Bigelow. He says, I'm in the minority on Sanders. Couldn't get on the field at Bama. Misses a lot of tackles. Gets caught in the wash. Reminds me of Jonathan Abrams. Just as many hits as misses. That's deep.
I mean, you could have a point, but I also could say that maybe Bama didn't have the right scheme for him. Maybe he hadn't really came into his own in terms of who he's going to be as a player at that time. And so you get put in the right position, man. You'd be surprised, man. I would say 75 to 80% of the NFL is system players. You got to get in the right system that works for you. There's a very, very select guys that could go anywhere and excel. Almost everybody's got to be in the right fit or almost right fit. They got to be close. The guys you have around you and the coaching staff you have around you pays dividends for almost everyone. You got to be in the right position. If you get drafted into the wrong position, that's where the majority of busts come from. It's usually not, it's almost never that the guy's not talented enough. It's that he's not in the right spot.
I absolutely agree with you, bro. It's all fit in the NFL, and it's all fit. Sometimes even at the college level is fit as well. And I will say this to David Bigelow's defense, right? I would say that in the later rounds, you can grab another linebacker is just as good. You can grab a Deion Henley.
Deion Henley's my favorite linebacker in the whole draft. That's not, one of the top guys.
Yeah, you can grab him. You can pick up a Dorian Williams in the 4th. You can get an Ivan Pace Jr. in the 5th, 5th round. These are guys that you can grab in the later rounds that would be just as serviceable. Now, I would say this about Drew Sanders. He is the one, maybe besides Jack Campbell, those are the 2 kind of linebackers that you could see as a plug-and-play guy right off the jump and can possibly be an NFL Pro Bowler in the first 1 or 2 years, or even an All-Pro in the next 2 or 3 years. So it just depends on how you see it. It depends on what you want. It depends on how you see Drew Sanders. Are you going to take the risk? Do you think he's going to clean up his mechanics and breaking down and making tackles? It just depends on how you see it and what you think, man.
So I tell you, if you give Drew Sanders to the Patriots, you got Bill Belichick working with Drew Sanders. I mean, a lot of people think of him as Bill Belichick as a guy from quarterback. No, Bill Belichick is a defensive coach. You let him develop a Drew Sanders. I guarantee you Drew Sanders is an all-pro.
I agree with you. So with saying all that, man, you ready to do our last mock draft?
Let's get it, make it official.
All right. So this is going to be the last mock draft. We're going to make this official. Do you want to do trades this time around?
I mean, if we're gonna do it official, we got to.
Okay. All right. Let me present my screen. Share screen. Hopefully we don't get a you know how that goes.
It kind of started a little bit already.
Yeah. As soon as I pushed brought up the
Big board.
The big board. Shout out to Ro. What's going on? What's up, Mike and friend? It's my boy Kanetown.
My name's me. I'm
friend, aka Kanetown. He's a Planet Raiders brother of mine, of ours. He also does great work on Planet Raiders. Keep an eye out for Kanetown, guys, please. All right. So
do you want to trade up? First question.
Okay, trade up. Do you want to trade up?
Not.
Do you want? All right, let's make it realistic, right? If we do trade up, it would definitely be for the number 3 spot, right? That's what we can agree to.
Do you want to see how the first 2 picks play out and then pause?
Yeah. Oh, no, Ro says my apologies. It's all good. Hey, thanks, Ro. Thanks for popping in. I appreciate you. We could do that, but this thing moves so fast, bro. Let me see. Let's generate a trade first before we get rolling, bro. Okay. Let's generate a trade first. I would hate to do a trade and then CJ Stroud gets picked second.
Facts.
Let's just see what happens and then make a move based on that. All right. So I'll try to pause it before.
If you go to restart, you can select for the draft to move slow.
I know I had it to move fast, bro.
All right.
Can I go back to? Nah, it's all right. We'll just roll this way.
We'll see what happens. Just be quick on that mouse.
Dang. All right.
So cool. Will Anderson and Anthony Richardson. Is that what I just saw?
Yep. So that is stupid. Let's see.
Okay. I would say let's not trade up and let's just see who's there at 7. That's fine.
All right. That's stupid. That'll never happen.
But
that'll never happen.
But CJ Stroud is there.
Okay. So CJ Stroud is there.
Jalen Carter is not.
Yeah.
And Devin Witherspoon is not.
So that pretty much finalizes it for us that we're picking CJ Stroud at number 7.
Now let's discuss how realistic. I mean, we've heard rumors. How realistic do you feel that it is that CJ Stroud's there at 7?
It's a bunch of smoke, but I will say this. It's about a 7% chance. I say number 7 because CJ Stroud wears number 7, and we're picking number 7. So a 7% chance that CJ Stroud lands at number 7 for the Las Vegas Raiders. And number 7 is a lucky number. I like it. You want to pick Stroud at 7?
Let's get the quarterback of the future.
All right, quarterback of the future, CJ Stroud. And we got an A+ on that one.
Now pause.
All right.
Who's on the board?
So now on the board, we are looking at we're at the 23rd pick. We got Brian Branch, a safety, Jordan Addison, Michael Mayer, Zay Flowers, Kalijah Cansey. Do you want, like I said, try to package a second and one of those?
That's pause to kind of mull it over. Do you want to scroll down a little bit more? I think the guy that I'm thinking about might be lower.
Who are we looking at?
Where is he? Do we got a Drew Sanders or a Trenton Simpson on the board still? Drew Sanders.
Sanders is right there. Trenton Simpson. Simpson's at 47.
Now, I am gonna say let's let it run because I don't think we're gonna have to trade up for Trenton Simpson.
Okay, so we're gonna let it ride. We're gonna let it do its thing. We're gonna take a risk here, and hopefully, one of our guys is at 38. And I think
he's there still.
We just did it. All right. So you want to take any trades at this point or no?
I mean, if something blows me away, but I doubt it. Nah, I'm good.
I mean, that Titans one that for number 41, pick number 72.
3 spots. And that's all this year, huh?
Yeah, I mean it's not realistic, bro. I'm not gonna mess with these trades.
You're right. It's not.
It's not realistic. Let's go with what we got here. Status quo.
All right. Now I also see Adebawore. Also see DeWan Jones.
Yeah, DeWan Jones, Adebawore.
Drew
Dalton
Sanders.
Kincaid is still here. That's kind of weird, right?
Yeah, I mean it could happen. I mean tight ends are you know how people are with tight ends.
Yeah. So
who's your pick here?
We got to go Drew Sanders, right?
Or Trenton Simpson.
Or Trenton Simpson. I like Jack Campbell.
And then DeWan Jones is there.
DeWan Jones. I think we can wait. I mean, like you said yourself, we're not big on offensive tackles in this draft. We need defense.
Adebawore. I would go Trenton Simpson. What would you do?
I'm going Drew Sanders.
I think we gotta defer to the chat.
Chat, what do you guys think? David Bigelow says Mozzie Smith. Will we go Mozzie Smith? Is Mozzie Smith on the board still? I think maybe he's already off the board. Let's look at D lineman.
Oak says D tackle also.
Unfortunately, we missed our chance in grabbing a Mozzie Smith. Kalijah Kancey.
Oh, Mozzie Smith isn't on there?
No, he's not.
Oh, shit. I mean, that means – so what are we thinking, Drew Sanders or Trenton Simpson, you guys?
Shane Tolbert says Drew Sanders. Tone Loke goes D tackle. Rowe, she said linebacker first. She asked the question. I don't know if she's still around. I'm not really sure what she was asking for. I was going to say 20.
She's saying going linebacker now. I would say based on who's on the board. I mean, we can look at corner.
Corner, let's see corner. Corner, we got DJ Turner out there. Julius Brents, Clark Phil. We can wait for these guys in the third round. To me, me personally. So it's between to me
Simpson and Sanders.
And I think it just depends on what you value, right? Drew Sanders is, he can do it all. He can get after the quarterback, but Trent Simpson can do that, but he covers a little bit better. He tackles just a little bit better. We got 2 versus 1, so yeah, I think I'm outmatched. We're gonna go Simpson here. What you think?
All right, let's do it.
All right, Simpson it is at number 38. Trenton Simpson. We get a B grade for that one. Maybe next time you guys will listen to me. Not just playing.
Pause it.
Oh shoot, bro! I didn't.
It's all good. I was gonna try to trade back into the second. Oh man. What do we got at corner? Do we still got a
corner? Let's see. We definitely need a corner here at 70. We got Garrett Williams, Hodges Tomlinson, Eli Ricks, Corey Trice.
I like Corey Trice. That's probably the best option there for me, and we can wait.
We can wait. Do you want to double up on corner, or is it really that serious to you?
So I'm gonna wait. I was looking at linebacker because you could double up at linebacker because Deion Henley's there, and I think Dorian Williams is still there. No, Williams is
down there, but you can grab him in the 4th or 5th.
Yeah, so let's wait on that. What do we got on the defensive line?
Defensive line. Dexter, Zach Pickens, Carl Brooks.
Think of Javon Dexter.
You want to get a Javon Dexter?
Well, I want to know what your opinion is.
This is one of those guys that kind of fell under my radar, to be honest with you, bro.
Yeah.
What do you think? Or is that the same? Are you kind of on the same?
I like him, but I haven't seen enough. I haven't got a big enough sample size of him to really be like, yeah, let's go.
Yeah. Same here. Rose asking what corners are still here. We got Darius Rush, Garrett Williams, which I think we can pick one of those corners at number 100. Corey Trice is somebody that if we can't grab one of those 2, Darius Rush, Garrett Williams will definitely go with Corey Trice at 100. Are we at agreement to that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what about quarterback?
Quarterback at 70. Tanner McKee,
ass.
Thompson Robinson, and the rest of the guys are guys that we can pick way later.
I would pick Stenson Bennett and late over all those guys.
Yeah, absolutely. So number 70, who are we going with, man? Who are we going with?
I might go Sidney Brown.
Sidney Brown. Where is Sidney Brown? Oh, right there. Sidney Brown.
Secondary guy.
Secondary. Oh, man, I don't know. A safety.
Who would you go? I mean, we went with my pick last. I mean, who would you go? There's Antonio Johnson up there, too, at safety.
Antonio Johnson. You know what? I'm going to go Jervon Dexter, bro. We need defensive line.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with him.
All right.
And I'm not very familiar, but just for the need itself, I'm going with Jervon Dexter.
Trade up?
Pause. You want to pause?
Let's trade up and get Sidney Brown if you're with it.
Let's see who's at corner, bro. Because we absolutely need a corner. Do you think we can hold off and get Garrett Williams?
Where are we at? What pick is it right now? Not 80, 90?
It's 90. We're at 94 right now.
I think we could still get Garrett Williams at 100.
Okay. O-line, you want to Tone Loke is asking who's on the O-line right now. Chandler Zavala, I like him. We got Voorhees. That's a solid pick. Actually, I would rather go Voorhees over a Trice, but we really need a corner. We can wait till 109 to get a corner. We can wait for Trice to get a corner. So I say we go Voorhees at 100.
All right, let's do it. But you still want to trade back in after 100?
I
mean, because I really don't think I want to make 2 7th-round picks, a 6th-round pick when I can get a 4th or a 5th.
We're still in the 3rd round. Do you want to wait till the 4th?
Yeah, let's wait.
Okay. So we'll jump back on because we're still in the 3rd round at 100.
All right,
we won't take any of this. So I'm going Voorhees right here. I really like this pick. We could probably wait for him at 100. Let's 100,
isn't it?
At 109. I'm sorry. We could wait for him at 109. Do you want to go corner now and get a Garrett Williams?
Do you like Garrett Williams more than Darius Rush?
I do.
Okay, I'm fit
because Garrett Williams has been he's been a starter all 4 years.
Right, that's a good point.
And I think you're talking about Emmanuel Forbes. Emmanuel Forbes is not available.
No, he was gone in the first.
Yeah.
I'm good with going and grabbing Garrett Williams.
Okay, Garrett Williams at 100. So I would say that I don't know how you feel about it, but at 109 we could grab Voorhees.
Okay.
We could do that. So we got Garrett Williams. And just like that, we're at 109. Please say Voorhees is still around. And he's right there. Yeah. Chandler Zavala is there, but I like Voorhees just a little bit more, man.
But one thing, though, you're going to be able to use Chandler Zavala this season.
That's true. But the upside, we're talking about upside here.
Yeah.
Do you want to wait a little bit, or –
ultimately, we both want him, so let's go ahead and grab Voorhees.
All right, Voorhees it is.
It's not worth taking the risk and having him fall off the board.
All right, so we're here at the mark where we could possibly move up. We have quite a bit of 4th round, 5th round talent, 5th round prospects, 5th round pieces to move back up. Do you want to do that?
Yeah.
All right,
who's at safety?
Let's see. Yeah, that's a good question.
Let's find out who we want to trade up for and not just trade up blindly.
I like Skinner, bro. I like Skinner.
Yeah, let's move up and grab him.
Okay, so let's.
Nice too. So is Brandon Joseph.
Do you want to go to who do you want to trade with? That's the question. Cleveland. Realistically, Baltimore, Cleveland, Seattle, Jacksonville. Well, I'm not going to count KC or the Chargers.
Let's do Seattle.
Seattle pick 123, so we're trading with Seattle. All right.
Our first set the bar so high that
say what?
I said it's funny because our first mock set the bar so high for mock drafts.
Yeah, absolutely. So we want pick 123, and we're willing to give.
Let's go 174, 214, 220, and 231. That's what I'm guessing it'll take. No, they ain't even not even that shit.
All right, so
141.
let's give him 144 and
170.
174.
Okay, we're right there. 204.
You want 216? I mean 214.
I don't think they'll do it. Let's try it. Oh, yep.
So that's the deal. We give away 2 of our 5ths for one of their 4s to get JL Skinner. That's what we're good with.
Yep.
All right. So boom, trade indeed. So now we're picking up next. Nope, we don't want any trades. We just made a trade, and we are picking JL Skinner at 123 overall, a safety, measurables. He's 6'4". He's a huge guy. He can play in the box. He can do it all. Like, man, this good coverage guy. Like, not a his coverage skills aren't great, but I don't think he's given enough credit coverage wise, to be honest with you, man.
Cam Chancellor vibes.
Cam Chancellor, exactly. I agree with you. And we got an A+ for that one. So now we're at 141.
Well, let's see so we got our safety, we got our guard, corner, and D line. You want to double back at linebacker?
Yeah, I think it's a perfect time for another linebacker. And Ivan Pace Jr. is my guy, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. Even though it might be a slight reach, I like Ivan Pace Jr.
I'm fine with Pace or Papo, so either one.
All right. I like Ivan Pace just a little more. What you think, man?
Take him.
All right. I don't know. We might get cooked for this one, but C+. I had a feeling we are gonna get cooked for that pick, bro. But we don't pick again till 204. So
you want to check back at quarterback, or are we going UDFA on a quarterback?
Let's go back at quarterback and see who's there.
Guarantee you Stetson Bennett's there.
Quarterback. Let's see.
He's still there. So
Bennett's there. Aiden O'Connell. That's a guy that we've been looking at. He's a statue. I'm not really a big fan of statues like that. Stetson Bennett is a little small.
I think we can still.
People been big on Clayton Tune these days.
Yeah. Tyson Bagent, I actually thought was an underrated looking guy at the combine. I thought he was throwing some nice balls.
Yeah, he's just.
But I still don't want to take him with a pick.
He's an UDFA guy, bro.
Okay. I think we're just gonna miss out on quarterback this time around, unless we just go Stetson Bennett on our last pick.
Let's see what else is out there first before we Clayton Tune is a good one. We could go tackle. We haven't gone tackle yet. We could go Warren McClendon.
Jackson Kirkland hanging around still?
Jackson Kirkland. Let's see. He's probably still out there. This is around the time he's usually out there. Jackson Kirkland's out there.
Damn, he's rated so low. That's crazy.
Dropped a lot, bro. We can probably pick him up in the 7th, to be honest with you.
What's up with do we want to find a coverage safety too?
Let's see what else is out there. Ronnie Hickman, Jason Taylor II's out there.
I heard Mitch Ward talking about Javarius Owens from Houston.
Javarius Owens?
Yeah, Rashad Torrance. Nobody really jumps off the board there.
No, not really. I mean, Jason Taylor II, I've been hearing a lot of good things about him.
What about a tight end?
Tight end, that's somebody we haven't picked yet. Payne Durham.
That's a guy.
That was about the right time we would pick Payne Durham.
I'll grab.
All right, so let's go Payne Durham. A+.
Okay.
All right, so I think this is our last pick.
Is it?
Yeah, I think this is our last pick.
So do you want to do like a Stetson Bennett, or do you want to do Jackson Kirkland? I'd rather go Jackson Kirkland.
I go Jackson Kirkland here as well. Stetson Bennett. I mean, is Kirkland still there?
No, somebody did take him.
Hold on. No, he's right there.
Can we take one more look at corner?
Let's see. Mekhi Blackman might still be there. Nah, he's gone already.
Also,
Jr.
Like a Jacorian Bennett, may just by the grace of God fell down or something.
Right.
No. Looks like Jackson Kirkland's the move.
Yeah, Jackson Kirkland. Van City, this is the NFL draft simulator.
Mock draft database.
Yeah. Tone Loke says go D-line. Let's check in with we haven't looked at D-line in a while, I'll be honest with you. Gerard Clark. That's a good one.
Yeah.
That might be a sneaky move right there. Jonah Tavai is solid, bro. But he's kind of low right there as well. He might be a UDFA.
So it sounds like it's Clark or Kirkland.
Actually, we have a pick 231, so we could go Clark and then go Kirkland at 231.
Yep, let's grab both of them.
All right, so we got Clark, B+ with Clark, and then tackle for 231. Jackson Kirkland's still there, bro.
Yep, I'll take him.
Jackson Kirkland out of Washington, and we get a B for that one.
That Ivan Pace sticks out like a sore thumb on our grades, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Just a little bit, right? So, final mock draft. We got CJ Stroud at number 7, guys. Trenton Simpson at number 38. We debated on that one for quite a while. Jervon Dexter from Florida, defensive lineman, lands with an A grade. Garrett Williams, he hit a home run at number 100, picking him. Andrew Voorhees, a B+, number 109 out of USC. We did a great trade. We traded 3 of our draft picks to move up in the 4th to grab J.L. Skinner out of Boise State. We get an A+ for that one. We fell off a little bit at 141 with an Ivan Pace Jr., but I love the prospect, bro, so I'll take the L for that one. Payne Durham, tight end from Purdue. Actually, he's going to be on my day 29 tomorrow. I'm be covering him on the 30 Days, 30 Prospects.
Spoiler.
So, spoiler alert, you know. Gerard Clark, that's a steal in the 7th round out of Coastal Carolina, and Jackson Kirkland, our guy, out of Washington, at number 231.
Jackson Kirkland would be an A+++++, because dude is a lot better than being at 231.
Yeah, I agree with you. Ro even agrees. She says this was a good draft. I appreciate it. I'm actually gonna save this one. I got to figure out how to. I'm gonna do like a screenshot. I'm gonna send it out. I'm gonna work on trying to get in the screenshot, and then we can, put that out there as our last mock draft of the 2023 draft. Guys, that is it for. Let me see. Stop screen. There we go. Oh shoot.
Oh man. He's gonna do it.
My bad, bro. There you go. All right. So, final thoughts, bro. Final thoughts before we jump into this 2023 NFL draft, man.
I think, man, if we ended up with a draft like that, I would be very happy. I would roll into the 2023 season feeling a lot more optimistic about our defense. I feel like we got 3 or 4 starters on the defense with that draft. I feel like we got the quarterback of the future, and he fell to us. And I mean, that pick right there alone, him falling to 7, is enough to make you happy about your draft. Yeah, I'd give it the whole draft a B+.
A B+. Hey, Shane Tolbert, he says A grade, man.
Hate you.
He says A grade. Raider Dangerfields is a pretty nice draft. I really like what we did in the 4th round, moving up to get J.L. Skinner. That was my favorite move of what we did, bro. That was clutch. I would love to see the Raiders do that at some point. What I would also like to see us move back into the 1st round. Somehow, if we can make it happen, package the 2nd and 3rd, that would be pretty cool too, to make that happen. CJ Stroud at number 7 was nice.
That's God answering a lot of Raider fans' prayers.
Yeah, absolutely. Tone Loke Raider Nation A-. That's kind of where I'm sitting. We kind of missed the mark on Ivan Pace Jr. a little bit, to be honest with you. I was getting the corner a little bit late. Was kind of disappointed.
The thing that brings me to a B+ is we kind of missed at corner, in my opinion.
Right.
Kind of missed at D tackle. I don't know enough about Dexter to be super stoked about that pick.
Right.
But if we could have got like a Mozzie Smith and a Julius Brents, I would have felt a lot better.
I agree with you, man. That would have been an A+ home run shot. Shout out to James Furpo, Raiders. Hey, bro, we're almost there, man. We're about 3 days away from the 2023 NFL draft. The draft that could change the face of Raider history. I hate to be dramatic, but hey, we got 12 draft picks, man. Why not? You know what I mean?
This is the most important draft in a lot of years.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Van City says Dexter looks like an animal. I'm actually do some homework on him tonight.
I realize I got to look up some more on him.
Yeah, I'm going to do some homework tonight, see what's up with him.
If he's a beast like that, then, hey.
Hey, there you go. Rose says it's an A for me. I appreciate it. I appreciate all you guys showing up. Guys, I think we're going to call it a night. Man, I'm excited. I hope you guys are just excited for the NFL draft. I will be in Barcode Burger on Thursday.
Rub it in, motherfucker. Rub it in.
With Graphic Raider, Wasted Talent, Hammer, all of Shieldmore except for Andy. Unfortunately, he won't be able to make it, but we'll be in a place with Raider Cody, a whole group of people. We're about to make this thing pop, man. I'm excited. Kanetown won't be there because he doesn't like us. So I'm just joking, bro.
Duty calls.
Duty calls. It's all good, man. It's all good. But with that, guys, we're about to call it a night. I'm your boy, Big Mike Raider, and that's my boy to the right, Kanetown Raider. Guys, you guys have a good night.
Make sure hit both my YouTube at Kanetown Raider. Hit Big Mike Raider. Like the thumb. Hit the sub.
Share with your folks.
Get this shit going.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And most importantly, guys, hey, if you guys are checking this out on my show, go over to Kanetown Raiders channel. It's you could do what is it? Kanetown Raider. You could just all one word.
We're just shy, of 100 subs. I'd love to get over that hump. Get to move on to the next milestone. Same thing. If you're watching on my channel, head over to Big Mike, hit that like button, subscribe. You're gonna get a bunch of content from this man. This man is a content machine.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey guys, I think we beat a dead horse in this one. I think we're done for the night. And I will catch you on the next one. I hope to see you guys on Thursday at Barcode Burger. You guys have a good one. Take care. You guys have a good night.
Love you, nation.
This is one of them hits now. Heard back from Earth and just shot a few of my shits down. It's safe to say I'm totally pissed. Wow. My cloaking device is just malfunction. Guess it's time for a sit down. This is the problem I got with humans, mostly the common man. Constantly fucking with energy they don't understand. Always thinking they got the upper hand. The G-forces from my maneuvers can snap your spine like a rubber band. I shouldn't waste my time, they ain't half as nice. Put a Red Bull in your coffin so your ghost can have wings in the afterlife. Let's rock and roll like a belly dancer's rhinestone. It was my idea to shake the penal gland like a pine cone. My thoughts create hurricanes, tornadoes, and cyclones. A punch for me is like an avalanche of granite and limestone. You live here, now this is my home. I neuralize both your retinas, you wake up staring at the screen of your iPhone. Confused by the light plus the high tone. And now we connected from the microchip I placed next to your thigh bone. It's hard to understand cause you're mind blown, but I gotta cut communication. Your government just scramble they spy drones.
That voice speaking Sumerian, the oldest language in human history. I can't